Spaces.
Also, I'm Brianna. I'm the president. Okay, I wasn't sure. I just realized I'm really bad at introducing myself.
We were in the same house.
The same dorm.
I didn't ask to start a broadcast.
Yeah, there should be a seat over here, and then I'm gonna steal one of these seats.
Let's see
Places, everybody. Let's go. Come on. It never works. Maybe I'm the problem.
Please.
Should I take it out for the
There's so many events and names that I just need to do. There's 16.
This is so sad.
We are having some technical difficulties, but please pull up the agenda if you have not already done so. It's Valentine's Day, so I would like to spend less time in media.
Happy
Valentine's Day.
It's okay.
Yay.
Unless it's like 3 to 10 p.m.
Wow, this is romance, you know?
I don't think they want to
I baked turkey for class today, and I forgot to do it again.
Goodbye.
We'll put it on here.
It's okay. Wow. I have one left in the
Yeah, I'll
US.
just continue to do
Bro, I am forwarding on top of onboarding. Like,
You're presented with the
One of the senior cost centers on national television.
So did she go back?
ESPN.
Should I call her? Quarantine. Whatever, I don't know. If anybody, oh yeah, that's another thing. If anybody has a preferred name they would like to go by, please let us know so we can update attendance and everything accordingly. I don't know if I made that enough. Senator Big Mama. That's just your name.
What's a preferred name?
Like a preferred name.
Is it different than on the website?
We have somebody who goes by a nickname instead of their actual name.
Do they have that in their articles too?
They're not here today, so not a problem.
Oh, okay.
But this is also, we have a couple new people coming in today. So yeah, you should be. You found your key?
we should all.
Okay, there's a seat here. I pulled it up for you. Just hoping you would find your keys to make it.
Oh, wait,
Very exciting. Did you get your glasses?
Sitting around with people.
Okay, they look good. I was like, something's different, I can't tell. Are we still having technical difficulties?
Always.
Always? Okay. That makes me feel confident in this body.
Let's drag it.
There you go. Now you have things.
I think it's good. Oh, but how would you take it? Yeah, if you want
I
to
wrote one
maneuver
scarf
that,
if you
that'd
had
be
to
really
register, and the
good.
only person who told me they wouldn't be there was Stone. So Stone got the scarf. You're welcome, anytime. And if you're a senior, you go to the senior event, I'll make that announcement. Also the scarf, you for the little price.
I don't mind being discounted.
Wait, which one is this?
No, this is us talking to Fairfield.
That's like smart. Oh, yeah.
Well, no.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a meeting. Thank you for being patient with us and our technical difficulties. But hopefully, we'll start now and get through it fast so everyone can enjoy their Valentine's Day. We will begin with roll call, starting with President Soldaselli,
Here.
Secretary Regier, Treasurer Nicholson, Director Diaz,
Here.
Senator Fadlala,
Here.
Senator Rodriguez,
Here.
Senator Ding,
Here.
Senator Liu,
Here.
Senator Zhu, Senator Adegbenden,
Here.
President McGuinness,
Out.
Senator Donald, Senator Parrish,
Here.
Senator Chen,
Here.
Senator Cruz Moreno,
Here.
Senator Huang,
Here.
Senator Lenny,
Here.
President Cho,
Here.
Senator Benjamin,
Here.
Senator Dobbs, Senator Morris,
Here.
Senator Nakfi, President Mong,
Here.
Senator Fedorova, Senator Amy Lee,
Here.
Senator Abiodun,
Here.
Senator Dubé, Senator Sean Lee, Senator Tiagi.
Here.
Okay. With that, we will move on to convening business. We do have a piece of convening business. We have our senator confirmations. Okay, Ryan, feel free to come up.
Yeah, link the PowerPoint to.
Oh, that's the wrong PowerPoint.
Wait, is it?
The one you would pull
Oh.
up is the wrong one.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, I just linked it, or I just relinked it. Yes.
And the point is smudge. So that's a weak smudge.
If you scroll, but it's not the count.
Yeah, the 1%. Yeah.
Let's see if I can do this on here so that the people watching at home can also have a.
The people watching at home.
Okay. Can you preview the slideshow?
Pretty good at the top. Sorry. That's the last slide.
Gotta hit back.
Gotcha.
The floor is yours.
All right, nice, thanks. So, to kick us off, we have our senatorial class council nominees. If we could we please go to the next slide? And then, just like before we start, we'd like to take a moment to thank a lot of people. Of course, our former class council members who contributed very significantly to our class and to the student body. Our current class council members who worked tirelessly to complete the nomination process within a very short span of time, as well as our advisors for their support. And all of the applicants for expressing an interest in making our community a better place and taking the time to apply. Next slide, please. Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. So this is just our protocol. Wait, could you go to the previous slide, please? Sorry. So this is just an overview of our protocol, which I guess we described now before this happens. On the day of when we received the news, we sent a drafted email for approval, and then 2 days later, we got clearance to send that out to the class, send the email out to the class with an application form with a deadline of the 10th of February. And then after that, in our pre-interview phase, we had an emergency session in which we established our interview timeline and protocol. Prior to interviews, we de-identified the forms and then reviewed them. We ended up deciding to interview all 8 applicants, and so we sent that out on the 11th day. And then on the next day, we interviewed 6 applicants, the 6 who accepted the interview offer, using the protocol we had previously established. Hosted an emergency class council session the day after to make our final decisions, and on today, just within 2 weeks of receiving notice, we will be presenting our 2 nominees to Senate. So our nominees here with us today, Raysham and Molly, both we found. Wait, can we go to the next slide, please? Actually, sorry. We did find that all of our candidates, all the candidates that we interviewed would have made incredibly strong additions. So we ended up basing our choices off of the context of having 1.5 months left, more or less, and what our class council is currently working on. We did offer every interviewee a position in the office of the 2025 class president. to continue supporting their interests in the student body. And that is all. So.
Let's round of applause. I'm going to ask the two of you to come up to the front here, and we have a little oath for you to repeat if you'd like to come up. And face the audience. And raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, name here, do solemnly swear.
I, Resham Talwar, do solemnly swear.
I, Molly Kuzma, do solemnly swear
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
that I will faithfully execute
The office of sophomore class senator.
The office of sophomore class senator.
the office of sophomore class senator
And will to the best of my ability.
And will to the best of my abilities.
and will to the best of my ability
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
preserve, protect, and defend
The Constitution of the JHU Student Government Association.
The Constitution of the JHU Student Association.
the Constitution of the JHU Student Government Association.
And if you two want to hang out after the meeting for about 5-10 minutes, we'll give you an introduction to SDA.
And from there, we can move on. Let me switch over on here. Okay. So from there, we have the amendment and approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any amendments they would like to make to the agenda?
Motion to amend the plushie refund bill to the agenda in under first reading or at the chair's discretion, second reading.
Seconded.
All those in favor of amending the agenda to add this bill, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, agenda has been amended. Okay, from there,
First.
there's a second one.
No, like first or second.
Oh, second. We'll go on to second reading.
Okay, makes sense.
Does anyone want to approve the agenda now?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Any seconds?
Second.
All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Okay, agenda is approved. Public input. Do any of our members of the public have any input? With no input, we'll move on to reports, beginning with the executive branch and student body president Soldatelli.
Alrighty. Hi, everyone. I have a couple things to report. First off, we have had 25 applications for the judiciary. I'm currently going through them. They seem to be skewing heavily towards freshmen, with a couple of sophomores thrown in here and there, and then a single senior and a single junior. So we have a nice little balance. I'm going to send out the email and try to narrow this down to just 6 people out of those 25. I've been in contact with the chief judiciary about what that's going to look like on his end once everybody is approved, and then we're going to start scheduling interviews coming up. In addition, I will be going to New York along with Elena on March 3rd to meet with the Student Life Committee from the Board of Trustees. We are currently drafting the presentation for that. It will be quote-unquote finalized by Thursday, and then we're meeting again with the Board of Trustees like planning committee people on Monday before we go up, just to make sure everything looks good. If you are interested in discussing something with the Board of Trustees, I already have Jackson and Dahlhart interested. You can join the virtual Zoom and we will have something for you to present. So far, the topics that we're going to discuss are what it's like living in a post-COVID world, SGA structural changes, our goals, and then student concerns and how we're addressing them, among a few others. Granted, this is a 15-minute time slot, and half of that time is listening questions, so we're going to keep it short and sweet to the best of our ability. So that's something that's pretty big that's going on. I had other things, but of course I can't remember it. Oh, the seniors, the SG social event was today at 6, and we had a grand total attendance of me, but that's okay. I know I gave pretty short notice. It was because the iStream wasn't sure if they could accommodate everyone on short notice, because design team was also having a meeting then. So if you guys would be interested in having another social on Sunday, especially because today was Valentine's Day and a school day and right before GBM, I know it might have been a little tight, but I'd like to do something, and the iShrink, and now that we have 2 new members also, and the iShrink is closing this Sunday. I will be working this Sunday, so you guys can skate and I can check you in. very SGA social of me, and then we could do something at my house or at like our house or something like that afterwards, if we're interested. So I'll send something out there, and then we have a couple of meetings with administration that are in the works, and then I've also spoken with Calvin about planning an admin networking dinner again. Most of our focus right now in our exec meetings has been on board of trustees and that kind of thing, because that is a bit of an urgent timeline. But we'll get back into more overall stuff. Also, elections will be occurring just around spring break with about a month transition period, and then inauguration is occurring in April. For those of you who remember what inauguration looked like, aka the not freshmen, and people who are not new to the council, inauguration is a fancy event. You dress up, they usually have some sort of food, and we talk about things. It's also like, I won't be getting inaugurated, I'll be leaving, but I'll be there to give some speeches and talk about stuff. Elections will be in person officially. They're going to be combined with the HOP elections as well as some others. The lead office is taking control of like the advertisement banner aspect of it. Our job is to get the word out to students through like Instagram and that kind of thing, reposting. If you have friends who are interested in running, please share the word. If you're a senior, this doesn't really apply to you. If you're in any of the other years, please share the word. Make sure you're familiar with all of the positions, because it does not look like this year. We're going to do a presentation to SGA, just reminding everyone of what the structure will look like, because that is an important part of next year. And I believe that concludes all of my reports. I will yield my time to Kobe.
Yeah, so I hope you all haven't missed me too dearly. I was out last week, but I'm back, better than ever, hopefully. My biggest announcement is that I'm going to be presenting to the Krieger Shared Governance on SJ. So if you have any things that especially affect Krieger students about what SJ has been doing, ideas of things that we want to do, please reach out to me. But apart from that, getting caught up, and hopefully things will go great. Secretary Regier.
I spent probably most of my time working on the outline for the Board of Trustees, and now I'm turning that into a PowerPoint presentation. And I've also figured out how to use the clickers, and I'm going to label them all for each senator and have them for next week.
Treasurer Nicholson isn't here, but
so there's really nothing new to report. We were supposed to have our meeting on Sunday, but due to conflicting schedules, we didn't meet. So we're going to meet for next Sunday, but nothing new.
We have our event tomorrow.
and then we have Director of Social Affairs.
Point of information, do you guys have an event coming up?
Yeah.
Yes? I have information to share on that event.
For finance?
No.
No, I think this is unrelated.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Director of Social Affairs.
All right, the Management Center meeting went well. We learned a lot about what cool career services they offer to students. About FYI, they offer a free coffee machine you can use if you're ever in need of some coffee. I met with the director. He was very kind and helpful. He has a great passion to ensure equal career opportunities regardless of background. We invited him and his team to come to an SG meeting to discuss some of the outcome metrics for the class 2022. I'm going to start planning some marketing material, content for them to help them to advertise a photo booth we looked at. It might require using the J mascot, which I'm meeting with someone from JG Communications and to try to work that out tomorrow. I also know the spring retreat was expected to be hosted there. The director said to just follow up with him and confirm the reservation. Still making website updates. Again, I want to fully update the website at least before the end of the month. I will reach out to some of you guys to confirm some information. So just be on the lookout for a Teams message or something. I'm already drafting marketing material for SG elections. I'll just need some official dates for info session and registration, which hopefully CSE can provide later this meeting. And that's all.
Senior class.
Great. So the main thing I want to point out is that we have our Seniors on Ice event for tomorrow. Really happy to say that it is a sold out event, so that's exciting. And we are still planning for our senior week events, and yeah.
Junior class council.
So we're currently in the process of getting all of the contractual stuff down with our venue for our junior class formal. We've locked down a location. We're currently sorting out caterers. I have a meeting, or I'm scheduling a meeting with Rebecca later this week just to make sure everything financially and legally is looking well, but it looks like we are all prepped and ready to go for an awesome event coming April 21st.
Sophomore class?
Yeah, I think we have some stuff going on with figuring out garden party. We're aiming to address some like class events, but that has been on the there are a few things that are on the queue, I think, but mostly garden party.
Freshman.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, so as the freshman class, similar to the other class councils, we're also working hard on our upcoming freshman formal, which again will be March 10th. We have to submit some budget requests again, and other than that, we're working on legislations. And we had a meeting with Hopkins Dining last Friday regarding some food sanitary issues, and we'll be sending out an email addressing the student body very soon.
Okay.
And that's all. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Academic affairs. Anyone here can speak for academic affairs?
Oh, so we just met with, well, we're setting up our next meeting with the deans, and I believe we're gonna meet soon, this week, so we can start up stuff for this semester. And we also just had the curriculum committee where we talked about new majors and minors coming up Hopkins.
Civic engagement.
So we're currently working on a project with the Foreign Affairs Symposium. Yeah, that's right. And we are also looking for a new partner for a food drive since the Baltimore Hunger Project kind of started jerseying us. But other than that, no more updates.
Health, safety, and sustainability.
You met with Sarah to talk about Sex Week.
Internal affairs.
Wait, I have an update. I also was emailing the promotions division of public safety, so hopefully they'll be attending our GBM, and we should look forward to a public safety table funding bills.
Internal affairs.
So we weren't able to meet on Sunday due to schedule conflict, but plan is to continue meeting every week because we have a busy semester planned.
Okay. Student organizations.
We have begun actually presenting at some of the student orgs. So I know Ryan did one of the first ones at Green Hacks last week. So the goal is for everyone. We don't really have re-registrations to get through this semester. So if everyone's student orgs, like half of you here, make sure to check the Teams channel for all of the organizations and make sure to reach out and CC me on those emails and fill out the info of when we need to attend the GBMs. I made, with Milton, we made a PowerPoint presentation to present regarding the new structure of SGA and why student orgs should get involved for the new seats that open up next year.
Student services.
Happy Valentine's Day. Student Services met last week to discuss a couple of upcoming meetings and the implementation of the liaison program. I met with the university chaplain on Monday ahead of a meeting with the Dean of Libraries on Friday to discuss the implementation of a quiet meditation / prayer space in either Brody or MSE. That's all.
And now we're on to caucus reports, beginning with the PETA caucus. Again, was out sick last week, but the rest of the semester is just going to be helping our new chairs transition and take up that role. Black caucus.
Oh, my bad. So I'm currently starting the event request for us to do our tabling, hopefully early March, and hoping to figure out what stuff we need to get done and submit a bill for that soon.
Disability caucus.
We are currently in the planning phases for a series of events with the, God, I can't remember what the exact acronym is for it, but it's, DISCO is the acronym, I can't remember what it stands for.
Disability Student Outreach, or Student Community Outreach.
Yeah. And anywho, we're currently doing a lot of cross-planning with them to see about getting the SGA Disability Caucus involved with disability student outreach and some other events for disability and cultural awareness going into primarily March, but a little bit of April. And we are also awaiting back some extra feedback, or at least I am, from expert comments I sent Kathy's way regarding disability faculty training. which will be going into effect starting in March.
Fly Caucus.
So I am going to the Fly Conference next week at UPenn, and I'll be representing the Fly Network, but also SGA as a whole. So excited for that. And also want a quick plug, Fly Advisory Board applications are still open, so if anyone is interested, it's also a paid position. Feel free to reach out to me, and I can give you guys a link to the application.
Hispanic Latinx Caucus.
Nothing to report.
And WGMC.
Always looking for new members, so you guys message me.
Okay. And now we have our advisor reports.
Awesome. Hi everybody. So good to see you all. So many new faces. I was also out last week, so this is nice to see you all again. Living for this new room. I hope we get to stay here the rest of the semester. I'm so happy. I don't have a whole lot of updates, but definitely want to reiterate what Brianna said earlier. Please encourage your friends to run for office. I think everybody knows that things are more fun when you get to do it with people that you enjoy. So bringing in your friends is a really good way to start it. Also, we have a million new positions and we need people to be in them, and you trust and love your friends, so you should trust them with the ability to run for a position. Elections are a month from today, so we've got plenty of time to encourage people and get them excited about our new SGA structure. I know there's been some rumblings about the retreat. That is confirmed for April 8th, and it will be for the incoming class of senators and council members. So if you are not running again, if you're graduating or just moving on to greener pastures or whatever it may be, you don't need to be there. But if you're going to be in the 112th Senate, the next year 112, or is next year 113? Where are we?
We're 110.
111. Right? Last year was 110. Right. This year's 110.
This year's 110.
This year's 110. So next year's 110.
So if you're going to be in the 111th Senate, you're going to be there on April 8th. But if not, see you never. So don't worry. That was really harsh. I'm sorry. I thought that would be funnier. I feel like I just lost the room on that one. That was a little much. Also, Leadership Weekend is going to be the weekend of March 3rd and 4th. So if you're a sophomore, you're busy on the 3rd. Sorry about that. But if you're a freshman, you should be free. So you should sign up. It's on the homepage of Hopkins Groups. It's a really great leadership opportunity. A little more professional, personal development moment. Would recommend. That was kind of scatterbrained, but that's all I got.
Okay. From there, we'll move on to non-legislative business, beginning with our CSE presentation. If both of y'all would like to come up, and we can, yeah.
Hello, I'm Nubaira. I'm the chair of CSE.
I'm Lee, I'm vice chair. So we're going to go over the schedule really quickly. So Sunday, February 19th, we'll be doing an info session at 5 p.m. Monday, February 20th, another info session at 7:30. Sunday, February 26th, an info session at 5 p.m. Then on the 3rd of March, applications will be due by 11:59. And then Saturday, campaigning will start at 12 p.m. So this gives us Saturday morning to verify everyone's forms.
And so we don't have rooms booked yet for info sessions, but we will by probably the end of this week, and that's when we'll send out the email to the entire student body. And then going from there, that next week, either Tuesday or Thursday, the 7th or 9th, is going to be our debate in the evening. And then that Friday is going to be one meet and greet, and then the following Monday will be the other. And so we'll just have like a room full of tables. It'll be like a first come, first serve for the candidates. And then elections will be the 14th and 15th, so the following Tuesday, Wednesday. And basically like the only change we're making to the election cycle is we're not going to be approving individual social media posts because we're planning on like the Senate's going to be so much larger and there's going to be more candidates we anticipate. So instead we'll only be responding to complaints instead of approving every single post.
Okay. With that, I'll open up the floor to any motions people might have.
Motion for a 5-minute Q&A with 1 minute speaking time.
All those.
Second.
All those in favor of moving into a 5-minute Q&A with 1 minute speaking times, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Okay, Q&A starting. 1 minute speaking times beginning with Jen.
Oh wait, I yield to whoever.
Okay, Ryan and then Jackson.
Sorry, just to double check, you went a little bit quickly over the dates. I didn't catch them exactly, but are these the same as the tentative spring schedule that were presented last time, or have they changed? I wasn't able to catch that.
They've changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be possible?
We will be sending out an email this week with the new dates as soon as Calvin lets us have specific rooms for the Q&A.
Okay.
Or for the info sessions.
All right, sounds good, thank you.
For the exec board debates, what time would that be at?
So what we're thinking is, that's why we have the 2 dates, is when we figure out who's running for exec board, we'll do like a when to meet or see people's availability. So that's why we haven't set a complete date for that yet. We want as many people as possible to be able to attend.
Thank you.
Probably evening.
Any other questions?
Will CSE be tabling just to get the word out about elections and everything sometime in the following weeks?
We didn't plan on doing that, but we could. If you guys think that would be helpful.
And Calvin did let us know they're purchasing a lot of lawn signs and other things. So he said that if you're around campus, you should be able to see that elections are coming up. He's getting the Orca TVs and stuff like that. So we have general election media.
Will CSU be sending out information about the new SGA structure in your email or somewhere else?
Should we?
You'd have to yield your time. I was going to ask, in terms of that with logistics, have you and Calvin started going over the logistics of making it so that certain groups can vote for things like Whiting students would vote for their Whiting representative and KSS students vote for KSS and all that stuff? Because I'm assuming that the forum is going to end up having to be pretty dynamic.
Yes, so our elections are going to be in person but on campus groups. So we'll be having election centers at kind of like campus hubs like the rec or commons and such. But it'll on campus groups, Calvin said.
Yeah, when it gets to the nitty gritty of that form, we don't have to do with that. That's not our wheelhouse. But concerning what was your question again?
Will you be sending out information about the new SGA structure in the email?
I think we could ask Calvin to do that, so it's not going to CC, it's more of him. Before we send out our emails about election dates so people know what they're getting themselves into.
And also at the info sessions, I believe the CMC will be preparing a presentation about SGA that we'll be presenting.
You brought up before that you said the hub were also having their own election. But what's that about?
I can speak to that. Basically, they're going to be having their exec board public elections as well, just in a I don't know how to say this without sounding shady, but in order to give them more validity. So I think a lot of how we talk about your political capital is because you're voted by your peers, and in a way to really build up the hop even further, they're gonna have their executive board selected the same way you all are. So their whole thing is a programming board run by the students for the students, and so now that they're gonna be elected positions, it's really solidifying that even more. It's pretty in line with what other schools do. It's not super out of left field, but it is a new change for Hopkins. But I'm excited about it.
Okay. So they'll be on the ballot, but they're running their own info sessions.
Any other questions? If not, a motion to close.
Second.
All those in favor of ending the Q&A, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? From there, our second piece of non-legislative business is our WSC Technology in the Classroom survey results from Senator Morris.
Yep. So I'll run through this super quick. There's not a whole lot that I have to talk on this. It's just more to let you know that it's in the teams that we have a lot of this information that should be available. Hopefully the newsletter is able to access that. If you guys are, we'll try to make sure we can share that. But basically, I ran the survey on behalf of the Whiting School of Engineering Faculty Senate on technology in the classroom. And if you go to the next slide, We surveyed 225 undergraduate students, 94 of which had a major in Whiting, and 158 of which had a major in K-Test. Next slide. We found that, at least for the Whiting specific questions, which asked about, you'll be able to see them through this, but the most interesting results was that sickness or illness was still seen as, even after most COVID related mandates had gone away, sickness or illness was still a significant reason why students didn't attend, weren't able to attend lectures and had to watch a recorded lecture. But also interestingly enough, studying for another class was second, with 50 students saying that that was the main reason that they had to use recorded lectures. So there was a lot of really interesting material here. You can go through that when I kind of talk through that. Also about how people used those recorded lectures in other means. And if you go one more. Then general questions. We were asked to put this question on by the chair of the committee. As you can see, most people do not care about their voice being edited out. The nation is not changing on that. The next thing. And people were very much against students actually having like somebody go in and edit out their voice, because student questions are useful, I guess. And then we had a number of ranking questions. We found that students had, we kind of used as a control attending live lectures. Interestingly enough, people ranked TA/instructor office hours as really low, which honestly might mean that there's room for improvement in making TA office hours and instructor office hours something that's more used. And is something that, you know, you can carry the results of the survey into discussions that you might be having in your own committee with KSAS or Whiting. And then if you just go through just some other interesting data, and we had additional feedback that people gave that if you want to read through, there's a lot more of it. But these were the ones that I thought were the most interesting, just like were general things that people gave, like, oh, we weren't actually seeing this in the classroom, or this is something we wish that we were able to see. Like having professors post their slides before class so that if you're like notating something on like an iPad or whatnot, you can actually write stuff down, or you don't have to worry about taking all new notes. With that being said, unless anybody has a motion on the floor, I feel like that's everything that's needed for the survey. We'll try to get that out to the newsletter and any other bodies that are interested. Thank you.
From there, we will move on to our legislation. So what we have up first is our Meet the Future Movie Night Funding Bill from Senator Paul.
This is the revised bill, the Meet the Future funding bill that I proposed a couple of weeks ago. Changes that we've made is that we've increased the cap size from 60, and this just made sense when talking to Alternative Protein Project and also SHIP on their number of people who usually attend their events. So we didn't want to overbuy food and end up wasting it. So we thought 60-person cap made sense given the past attendance, and also given the fact that this is the first event of the Sustainability Coalition. And to accommodate the increased cap, we also changed the location into a different commons room, into Common Salon A, and doubled the food. So in total, this would be $397.20 from SGA budget, with Alternative Protein Project, Sustainable Hopkins Innovative Projects, or SHIP, contributing $160 each.
Yeah, now floor is open.
Motion to vote.
Any seconds?
Second.
All those voting to move in, sorry. All those in favor of moving into voting procedure, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? All those in favor of passing the Meet the Future Movie Night Funding Bill, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Round of applause. And our last piece of legislation for today, we have the plushie refund bill.
All right. So this is the plushie refund bill. It's not like a super like mind-blowing bill. This is just I think we had approximately we had 15 15 keychain plushies from the sophomore class council used for a tabling event. I believe it was the Culture Fest event. So this is really just refunding the cost of the plushies that were used at the time.
Any motions?
Motion to vote.
Second.
All those in favor of moving to voting procedure, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? All those in favor of refunding the sophomore class council, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? They got the money back. And with that, we got through this pretty quickly. Anyone have any prospective legislation or announcements?
The first event in the Foreign Affairs Symposium is on Friday at 7 at Shriver. You should all go. It's the first one.
Yeah.
Yay. That's it.
That's the abortion one, right? I'm going.
Hell yeah. 7 on Friday.
Yeah.
Tonight at 9 p.m., the Taiwanese Student Association is hosting a Valentine's You Don't Have to Be Alone thingamajigger in Great Hall. I will be going with Sophie if anybody wants to go with us. In addition, this Friday at 6 p.m., I believe, the Figure Skating Club is holding a showcase at the ice rink. In addition, the ice rink is closing for the season this Sunday, so the last shift on Sunday is at 2 p.m. So see if you haven't gone yet and you want to go, they have the brownies back again. I also wanted to say general happy Valentine's Day to everyone, whether that's platonic, romantic, whatever. I hope you had a good day. If you are having any health problems, i.e. you got COVID or something crazy like that, not that that's happened to anyone, please make sure you're communicating with us to the best of your ability. Obviously, if you're like in the hospital or like going blind or something, your first concern isn't going to be like checking your phone and like letting SGA know, but we have retroactive absences if necessary, but we can't do anything for you unless you inform us of this. I don't want you coming to GBM sick. I don't want you coming to GBM in pain. So try to communicate with us and we will work something out. Yeah. And if you are a new senator or interested in being a new senator or anything like that, stay after so I can talk to you. Happy Blue Jay Tuesday. That's it. Now I'm done.
Anybody else?
Motion to end the meeting. Second.
All those in favor of adjourning the meeting, please say aye. Those opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? That's so fast. You're so fast.